If there was a contest today on bugs to fish, especially this time of year in the fall, winter, colder seasons, there's definitely nothing better than this blue wing olive. It's a simple bug to tie, has a few materials. You can change the collars up, but this is definitely a fly that has been tested on many waters in the Southeast. And quite honestly, anytime you see little bitty bugs bouncing across the water, most likely it's going to be a BWO. Also, you could think of this as a midge pattern as well, so you probably get away with that. But in the vise today, we'll have a size 20 big T wide gap hook, and I find that to be probably one of the best sizes to fish with. It's got a 2.5 millimeter tungsten silver slotted bead, gold wire, and 70 denier olive thread. That's a coke tail on it, and again, probably one of the best bugs. If I went out on the water today and you said you could only take 3 bugs, this would be one of them, along with a stinger and probably a caddis, so that I could do a dry dropper if I needed to. Anyway, I'll show you the materials here and some ideas on some different dubbings that you can use for the collar, and then we'll get into tying this. So for the blue wing olive, some of the materials I like and I use, obviously, again, we have the big T wide gap jig hook. We have a 2.5 slotted tungsten silver bead. We have some coke tail, small gold wire. But this is where you can get creative. We have pheasant tail, eye stub pheasant tail, eye stub, shell pink. Shrimp pink is fantastic, probably one of the best variations you could do. But I really, for the most part, most of the time, I'm using this Siman Peacock dubbing in fine, and I'm using the blue. There's also green that's great, black, and then red. But you can pick whatever colors you want. Play around with this, give you some variations. You can also change it up, and instead of using silver, you could use a gold bead. But I'll tell you, I found most of the time the silver bead is probably your best bet. Gives it that kind of rising, imitating that emerging kind of air sac with that silver bead. So anyway, we'll get started here. Okay, in the vise, like I said, we got a size 20 big T wide gap jig hook. I've already got the bead on, so I'm going to do a few wraps to get our thread started. This is a very quick fly. It doesn't take long at all to tie these up. Gonna uncord that. While that's uncording, we're gonna use a little Coke De Leon here. Pull a pretty good little bunch. I like to do that. You can see here I've got a pretty good bunch. See if we can get that into focus. And we'll transfer that to our left hand. Now, I like a decent little tail on this. It doesn't have to be crazy, but you can always adjust this, pull it down, get it right where you want it. And that looks pretty good. So I'll give that a few wraps, twist it around, make sure it's sitting on top of the hook well. And then we'll work that back up. Clip it off at the bead. Get that bead sitting on there right. There we go. And just give it a few wraps back. Start to build a little bit of a body, but don't get too crazy with this. Thinner is better. We're going to take our small gold wire, drop that in, pull that down just a touch. There we go. And again, remember, if you want it to lay flat, just uncord your line a little bit, your thread. And that'll let it lay nice and flat. Just build you a little bit of a taper, not much. We don't want to get too crazy. Wrap that gold wire around. You'll see how easy this is. Get that locked in good. Put a twist. And when you get going on these, you can tie a lot real fast. Doesn't take long. Helicopter that out. build that up just a tad. I'm going to take my Siman blue dubbing. Looks green. It is green, but they call it blue because it's got some blue speck in it. And then I'll put a little bitty noodle on this, not much at all. You want to go pretty small, about an inch. Put you a nice little collar on there, and that's it. We're going to whip finish this with a couple of 3 to 4 turn whip finishes. And there you go. I don't even use head cement on this. So again, works great on the Holston, works great on the Watauga, works great on all of Western North Carolina, works great in North Georgia. Again, super simple fly. Call this a guide fly. It's fast to tie up. You can tie a bunch of them. They look really good. They work on tailwaters. They work pretty much everywhere, wild creeks. And so there you go. That is a what I call a guide series or guide fly blue wing olive. And that size 20 big T will that'll catch 22, 25-inch trout pretty easy and hold up well versus, you know, some of the other hooks that are out there. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.